Welcome to the e-learning platform by SciencePark. Today we are going to learn about magnets. This is the part second of the session Fun with Magnets from Standard 6th. Now let's see what we are going to cover in this video. So first we will see what you mean by magnetic induction. Then we'll make a permanent magnet by a method called as touch method. We are going to learn about Oersted experiment. Then we are going to make an electromagnet. We are also going to see what are the uses or the applications of electromagnets. And in the end, we will see how magnets can be destroyed. So now that we know much about magnets, do you wonder how magnets are made? And can we make a magnet here? Yes. So for that, you'll need a bar magnet, an iron strip, and few U-pins. Now I am going to hold this magnet in one hand and the iron strip in other hand, and I am going to bring the iron strip near the bar magnet like this. And even if I leave my hand of the iron strip, it will be attracted. It will remain attracted. Now I'll bring this iron strip near the U-pins. As you can see, the U-pin is attracted towards the iron strip. Yes, so we have made a magnet of this iron strip. How easy it is. Now I'll remove this iron strip from the magnet. What happened now? The U-pin fell down. Why is it so? So friends, this is called as induction. The time or the period when the magnet was attracted towards or was touching the iron strip, at that moment only this iron strip was magnetized. The moment we leave the magnet, the magnetization goes. Right? So this was a temporary magnet. Now let's make a permanent magnet. Right. So friends, here we have a few U-pins and an iron strip, and we are going to make this iron strip as a magnet. So for that, as we have seen, we have to bring a bar magnet near the iron strip, and the moment the iron strip touches the bar magnet, it magnetizes and it attracts the U-pins towards itself. And after that, if we remove the bar magnet, the U-pins fell down. So this is called as induced magnetism or magnetic induction. So this is a temporary method to make a magnet. Now let's see, can we make a permanent magnet? Now to make permanent magnet, we will need an iron nail, a bar magnet, and U-pins. Now we have to hold this iron nail like this on the head of it, and we have to rub the bar magnet on the iron nail, but in one direction only, like this. And we have to do this almost 200 times. Yes. So now I have rubbed this magnet on the iron nail 200 times. This method is called as single touch method. Now we will test whether this iron nail has really became a magnet or not. So we'll bring this near the U-pins and see. Yes, as you can see, the U-pin is attracted towards the nail, but you can also see that this is not powerful magnet. Now to make it more powerful, either we can use another powerful bar magnet to rub on it, or we could rub it more than 200 times, like say 500 times or 1000 times. Yes, so we have made a permanent magnet. Now my question to you is, how are these magnets produced? Are they produced similarly by rubbing, or is there any other method? Think. Right. So for making a permanent magnet, we need a nail, a bar magnet, and as seen in the clip, we have to rub the bar magnet against the nail in one direction only, around, yes, so around, we have to rub it around 200 times. And after that, if we bring the iron nail near the U-pins, they will be attracted to the nail because the nail has magnetized. And in this way, we can produce permanent magnets. But as you have seen in the clip, only one U-pin was barely able to attract the iron nail. This is because your iron nail was a very weak magnet. It was weakly magnetized. So to make it strong, we can either increase the number of rubbing to 500 times, or let's say to 1000 times, or we can use a very strong magnet itself to rub the iron nail. Right. So now we will see an experiment. Now in this experiment, we have taken a magnetic needle. We all know about the magnetic needle now, and it aligns itself in north-south direction. Now we'll keep this assembly under another assembly wherein we have a brass rod on the top. Now if we connect the brass rod to a battery, then the current will start flowing, and we'll see that the magnetic needle will move. Now why will the magnetic needle move? Now as seen previously, magnetic needle can move by three different ways. One is if we try to move it by our hand, another is by wind, and the third one to move a magnetic needle is to bring a magnet near it. Now in this case, we have not moved the magnetic needle by hand or by the wind. So why did the needle move? So there must be a magnet nearby, because of which the magnetic needle has moved. And my dear friend, the magnet is nothing but it is present in the brass rod in the form of electric current. Right. So friends, this is nothing but an electromagnet. So friends, whenever electric current passes through a conductor, it becomes an electromagnet. So this experiment was first conducted by a scientist named Hans Ørsted, and hence this experiment is called as Ørsted experiment. So he discovered electromagnets. So friends, now that we know what electromagnet is, we are going to make one. So here I have a big iron nail onto which I have wound a thin copper wire. But this copper wire has an insulation or has a cover of an insulating material that we need to remove before connecting this to a cell. So we will remove that insulation with the help of a cutter. Now we can see the insulation of this part is removed, and here insulation is still there. Now we have to remove the insulation from all the sides of the wire. And from both the ends. Now we will attach cell to these wires. Now the moment I touch both these wires to the cell, current will start flowing through the copper wire and it will become an electromagnet. So let's test this. And as you can see, this is attracting the iron U pins. So we have made an electromagnet. Right friends, so now we have seen how to make an electromagnet. So we have to take a nail and we have to wound a copper wire around the nail. Then we have to attach a battery to the coil so that current will start flowing in the copper wire. And as we have learned from the Oersted experiment, that the moment current starts flowing from a conductor, it magnetizes and it becomes an electromagnet. And hence the U pins will be attracted towards. This is called as an electromagnet. Now we will see what are the applications of electromagnets. Now electromagnets are used in many gadgets and objects near us. So first object where electromagnets are used is electric motor. Electromagnets are also used in devices called as transformers. They are used in relays. They are also used in bell, which is there outside your home. Electromagnets are also used in speakers. They are used as a magnetic valve. They are also used in hard disks, which is used to store lots of data. Electromagnets are also used in MRI machines. You may also have seen the magnetic locks. There electromagnets also are used. Electromagnets are used in huge cranes which are used to lift big magnetic objects. They are also used in maglev trains and they are also used in induction stoves. Now we will see how magnets can be destroyed. So there are three ways in which magnets can be destroyed or the magnetism can be destroyed. The first method is burning. Second is if you drop the magnet few times. And third is if you hammer it. Friends, do not try this at home. So these are the three ways in which the magnetism can be destroyed. Hence, magnets are kept in a particular way or they are stored in a particular way. Now as we can see, there is an iron strip in between the two bar magnets that is also called as a magnetic keeper. And in a U-shaped magnet, you can also see a strip of iron which is attached to the poles of the magnet. This is called as a magnetic keeper. And this is the correct way to store magnets. So let's summarize the video. So first we have seen how can we make temporary magnets by a method called as magnetic induction. Then we have made permanent magnets by touch method, and we have seen about Oersted experiment and the discovery of electromagnets. Then we have seen how electromagnets can be made, and we have seen different applications of electromagnets, and in the end we have seen how magnets can be destroyed and the correct way to store magnets. So here are some questions. Kindly note these questions in your notebook and write the answers to them. Thank you.